What's up, y'all? Hey, it's me. I hope there's nothing in my teeth. Off top, if there's anything on my face, we got some pimple breakouts or whatever that we're working through, we're just gonna ignore that. I have literally never seen the people that live in the house cat a corner to us or in the backyard. And today, out of all days, I come outside to record something and to force myself to go ahead and do this because my spirit is telling me this is what I need to do. And they're cutting the grass, so please excuse that noise. Basically, this is me reintroducing myself. Hello, my name's Victoria. You may know me as Pimp Daddy Vic. That is a name that I'm assuming I made up because it sounds like something I would do years and years and years ago, to the point that I don't remember making it up. I don't remember where it came from. I do like pimps, and that's something we could explore later in life, but I don't know where that came from. Pimp Daddy Vic. I'm that girl with the hair because I got that name from, I'm looking down. I want to look at y'all, but I'm looking, and I know I should be recording this with the back camera. Forgive me. I'm looking down because the sun is in my eyes, but you know, just take a good light, look at the glow. That girl with the hair came from singing in a choir back up for one of the Mary sisters. I think it was Erica. Don't really recall. And I had, y'all remember, I was like natural, had big all hair. I was natural for basically 10 years. And that was like, hey, you with the hair, because it was at a time that people weren't really natural and didn't have loads of hair like I did. He was like, you girl with the hair, move to the side. And somebody was like, you should make that your Instagram. That's what I did. That's where that girl with the hair came from. You may also know me as that girl with the thrifts. That came from growing up with my mom always bringing me to Salvation Army and searching through the clothes and enjoying it. And that's where we would shop when I was growing up. I was an Unlimited 2 kid. I wore Walmart and thrift store clothes. And that's where my personal style developed. What other names do I call myself? That girl with the hair, that girl with the thrifts, that girl with the gifts. I got that name through going through life and hitting a spot of depression and really trying to work my way through it. It was like talking to the Lord. It was like, bruh, why am I here? What do you need me to do? I might sit down. And he was just like, use your gifts, use your talents. I've always been a real creative person. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks, God. And I had to come right back and be like, hey, yo, what are those gifts? Like, and he just started revealing things to me. And then I had to come back. I was like, oh, bet, cool, got it. And I had to come right back and be like, oh, wait, what do you want me to do with these things? Or how can I use them? Because at that time I was in school, not going to class, not paying attention, not doing the work. So I wasn't passing classes, wasn't earning credits. I was in college for, I think, I graduated in 2012, and this semester I was supposed to go back, I believe was 2018. And then I just was like, I'm not going back. So whatever, I was supposed to graduate 2016. So that's 4 years plus 2. So around 6 years, didn't get my degree. I can't tell you how many credits I have. I did not really care about school. That didn't work out. I guess not really gonna put it on the dude. I was dealing with somebody that I knew I wasn't supposed to be with, but that ain't really on him. I can't put nothing against that. That was really a good learning portion of life, so I can't blame or put my emotional standpoint on that whatsoever, because that person was telling me to get my life together too. I was working. I had become a server, was making guap, but because I have no financial background and no financial knowledge, I was making money and was still broke, like bringing in anywhere between $400 to $500, sometimes $600 a week as a server. But I was working till 2 in the morning, really. Okay, that peeling is from aloe vera. Getting real tired, you feel me? Not being able to sustain myself, sleeping on my friend's couch, because it was like I started at a high, summer 16, working in Maryland at Freedom Schools. Made friends, made connections, loved it there. Then that same summer was the summer that Alton Sterling got murdered by the police. And it was also the same summer of the flood in Baton Rouge. So I didn't really have a home to come to when it was time to go back to Baton Rouge. So my really good friend Rochelle allowed me to come stay with her. which meant staying in one of like those, you know, college apartments with her and her 2 other roommates. And then there was other people staying there as well. And it was a really fun time, like as a college student, but it was also a hard time because it's like I don't have no money, I don't have nothing for myself. I can go stay with my family. It's not like I couldn't go stay with them, but they were staying at somebody else's house because our house had been flooded. And so that meant like a literal hour drive for me every day. And if I'm getting off work at 12 midnight, it's not doing nothing, it's not working. So of course I'm gonna stay with them, not even thinking like or having the know-how to like get my money together, get my own place. So I was just like broke in a bad space and eventually had to work myself out of that. My sister let me come stay with her in Houston for a summer. That was summer 2018, to get myself together, and that like really helped some. And then I was supposed to go back home. Did not go home in time to start school, so that's kind of when everybody was like, all right, this heifer ain't going back to school. Then after that, I went back home and I was still sad. I was still depressed. I was no longer in a space. Like, you know, living with your parents is mentally draining because it's like their issues become your issues and you don't want them to become your issues, but you're literally living in the house with them. You don't get the free space that you would have, and still, oh, wait, I skipped something. I was a server. I quit serving. I served at 2 restaurants. I'm hot, so I'm finna stand in the shade for 2 seconds. I served at 2 restaurants. One was dope, worked and played with my friends, and then it just became a toxic work environment on my end. And I got fired, aka I got fired because I just finally came head to head with one of the managers, which can be another story time for another day, and which led to me being fired. But I ain't tripped because literally right next door was another restaurant that I know people at, and I was able to get hired on there, which was cool and dandy. I was making decent money again. But it's also, if you've worked in a restaurant, you know, all in all, it's not really that great of a work environment unless you just happen to end up at a really good restaurant. And that restaurant, over time, I had to get the heck up out of there too, because I was tired of being depressed. I was tired of starting to feel like anxious. And if you know me, I'm like this. That's me. So even like, I'm not a very emotional person, never was a very emotional person. So trying to navigate that, it just wasn't a great place to be in. So I said, you know, F this, I'm gonna quit. And I found out about Waiter at the time, like the drive service. You drive around, pick up people of food, drop it off, make money. And not having financial know-how, I was like, I'm gonna do that. But of course, going from server where you bringing in at least $100 a day from tables, like, you know, that's the minimum you want to make, you feel me, to driving around in a car bringing people food, there wasn't no make good money. I was back broke, back struggling. That's when my sister told me to come out to Houston, stay with her. She always is the backbone to get my things together, come out there, you know, things are doing a little better, in better spirits or whatever. Go back home, still no plan, didn't go back to school because I was tired of wasting my time. I never cared about that degree. Now I want one, but that's another day, another story. And went back home, went through the issues or the ups and downs of living at home, living with people, living with my parents. And through the journey of being back home is where stuff started to get a little better, you feel me? And that's when I started on those prayers that I was talking about earlier, and building to become that girl with the gifts. And so that girl with the thrifts, that girl with the gifts, the YouTuber who is what we're doing right now, very inconsistent with that. Everything I've done has been inconsistent. Doing the personal thrifting. I love sports paraphernalia. I love sports. So the jerseys, that's just my personal style. I love, what was I about to say? And then through that is where I found like the bandana creations and things like that. Within, it's 2012, girl, I almost fell. Within the next however many years, coming into 2021, which is where I am now. So in 2019 or in 20, I didn't work at all for anybody to 2019. One thing about me, I'm a hustler. I'm going to figure out ways to make money. So that's what I was doing. Barely scratching it, making do. Barely making do. But I've always been blessed and set up to have situations where I didn't have to go hungry. I didn't have to go without. And what people think is the major ways, like, I'm not a club shopping type person, so that I never had to worry about that. I don't go out to eat as much as I would love to, or at all really anymore. But it's hot. Child, I'm trying to keep this good glow skin aesthetic, but it is hot as Hades. And I want to sit down, but ain't nowhere to sit out here. Okay, but I'm going to do this because I said I was going to do this. All right? Okay. Get through it. Let's go. We're back. So, anywho, struggling, making it, and then just these gifts through the prayers is how I started getting to that girl with the gifts and really moving on my creative know-how. So creative know-how, what are those things? Thrifting, making my shirts that people see, the bandana tees, doing some of my like random custom things for people. I wrote an ebook, That Girl with the Fruit Soup, and through that I've kind of really started to evolve and see different things that I can be and different things that I come to, and things will come for me, but I have to do the work and I have to be consistent. But the one thing consistent through all these times has been my inconsistency, and with that has brought me the money pains. And not even the money pains, because I've never cared about money, but I've learned that it's because I have a bad relationship with money. And so although I don't really care about monetary things or materialistic things whatsoever, I'm a very ho-hum type person at the end of the day, that I still need to understand that in the world that I live in, you have to have money to function. So I can't just say X nay to the world or whatever until I get enough money to allow me that luxury. My inconsistencies brought me back to the place where I am literally at this very moment, which brought me to the camera after I went to my close friends and kind of vented a little bit about, right now I got $28 in my account. I had a phone bill due in 2 days. I forgot to pay my credit card bill this month, and by the time I realized that I forgot to pay it, I no longer had the money to pay it. I am in a wedding next weekend that I've been known about, that just poor planning monetarily, and I got to figure out how to get the money just to get back home for the wedding and for other things amongst those, like to do part of the wedding. But as sure as I know that all of these things are building an issue up like that, in the back of my head earlier, I was just like, ugh, thinking about it. As soon as I let it out, and as soon as I say, all right, this is what it is, and give it up to God, things always work in my favor. And so I went, take my shower, wash my hair, which is why the do-rag is on right now, you know what I'm saying? And something told me, Victoria, it's time to get back to YouTube. It's time to just go outside. And I was like, I'm gonna make this video. And normally anytime I get on camera, y'all, I start rambling. I forget what I'm gonna say, but something's like, ignore all that. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, once my hair dry and I take my do-rag off, I'll do it. Something's like, no, forget that. Put the do-rag on. Just leave the do-rag on. Someone's like, oh, I don't have no earrings. Forget the earrings. Don't worry about it. Oh, but my face broke out. Forget the face. Even if there is something on my face right now or something in my braces, do it. Just go reintroduce yourself to the world, because I haven't told a lot of people about this, because I was raised and taught, you don't always want to put everything out, because just as there are people praying for you to ascend and do better, there are people praying for you to descend and do worse, and fighting against you. But God told me I'm going to be a millionaire next year. And as sure as I am in my belief in him and my relationship with him, I know for a fact that that is something possible. So although I'm right here with $28 in my account and all these different things that I need to get done, I also have the tools to be able to get them done. I also have the know-how and the network and the resources to get them done. Is it going to be easy? No. But if God, the person who created me and helped me make it out my mama womb that I was not supposed to make it out of, which is another story for another day, because the doctors told my mother that I was not going to make it and that she should abort me for her own health, and she said no. And then they said, okay, well, she's going to be born with, at the time, mental retardation, or she ain't gonna make it. And here I am today, as sure as I believe in him. If he told me I'm gonna be a millionaire next year, and multiple people that I've never mentioned anything about any of my ideas that's really in my head to have come and spoke those things to me, I know it should be true. So when the idea came to my head to pick up my camera and reintroduce myself to YouTube and just like start do what I know what I can do, I was like, I don't know. But I was moving around in the house and stuff was like, do it. Why are you not outside talking? So I had to come outside and talk. So this video's whole purpose was for me to allow me to reintroduce myself, let y'all see like where I am, who I am, and this is literally like a journey that we're about to take together. I don't know where it's gonna go. I will speak the consistency in my life. I will speak the success that I already know is about to happen in my life. I will tell you to make sure you follow that girl with the hair _ that girl with the hair and that girl with the YouTube, because I'm literally in one of the biggest transitions of my life. I currently am in Houston. I live in Houston with my sister and my brother-in-law, and their new baby, my doodle bop. And I was planning to move to Maryland, and well, I knew I just had to move out in March. That was my end of contract here. But the day got moved up, and when it happened, I was like, okay, cool, because literally a couple of days before, my contract got moved up to from March of next year to November 18th of this year, saying the day that's when you have to roll. I was like, I told somebody who told me that they had jobs for me lined up in Maryland, or possible for me. I was like, unless the Lord says different, like, I'm coming in March. And then literally a day or two later, the Lord said different. But I had the feeling in my soul and in my spirit, even before the Lord told me flat out different, that that's what was going to go down. So like, I just kind of been having a little anxiety, a little frustrations. Like, I'm about to have to step into an actual professional realm, which is totally different from me. For anything I've ever wanted to see for myself. But if I was told that these are the things that are set aligned for me, and this is the vision that I have that is set for me from various people, then I just need to start keep doing what I've been telling other people and telling myself, do the work, do the work, do the work, which is very hard for me. It's very hard for my mental health. I do not know exactly, but I have either ADD or ADHD. I've never like officially been diagnosed, so that's something I battle with, just getting used to it, which is another story for another day. But I just really want to come do this video because I was told to come do this video, introduce myself, let y'all know what's going on. Welcome to the journey. If you're watching, hey, thank you for being here. Tell somebody, because I want to get the streams and revenue up on it so I can be making some money. But I know where I'm going to be, so I just have to go through the battle and the journey to get there. And I know it's a victorious battle because my name is Victoria. My name means victory, and other people have spoke victorious things into my life. So this is what it is. If you stuck around the whole time, thank you. I appreciate you. It's really about it's really up. You feel me? Subscribe. Make sure you like, comment below. I don't know what to tell y'all to comment, for real. Give me some encouragement, some tips to stay organized, some tips on moving out. If you live in Maryland or surrounding areas, where would you recommend looking up places to live? Check out my TikTok. It's that girl with the gifts. Literally, my content lately has just been me writing down my to-do list and telling people what's on my to-do list, because that's how I hold myself accountable. Follow that girl with the gifts and check out my work. I'm really been pushing my initial tees lately, where it's like you can get a white shirt with a custom initial on it, made out of bandana, handmade by me. I sit and take hours and hours. I drive 45 minutes across town to get your shirt made, and that's the way I make money. I have an ebook that I need to finish updating so I can re-release about fruit soup, aka smoothies, because that's one of the things that helped me get in line mentally and physically. If you want to lose weight, get the book. It's not about weight loss, but that's what people like to hear. Weight loss. So you could do that. Just support me, because literally every red cent that I make and that I spend comes from selling those shirts and selling those ebooks and going to sell my clothes or whatever things that I've thrifted and no longer want, or selling those thrifts. So now that y'all know that, plain in spirit, I don't have no money. I never really have any money, but it's because I never had the positive relationship with money. But you have to have money to survive, so I'm going to do that. And then I guess that became my motivator. But also, it's just I'm ready to live out these dreams and see these things that people have spoken into me. So that's what I'm going to do. That's it. My nose itch. My skin broke out so bad. I've been eating so much ricotta cheese, it don't make no sense, but I love ricotta cheese. I'm out. Pimp Daddy out. Check that thing. Make sure you dance today. Listen to some good music. Do things to make you happy. If you